After the Brexit referendum, the then Chancellor, George Osborne, announced plans to slash the UK rate of corporation tax from 20% to below 15%. On the 5th of July, on BBC Radio Ulster, Northern Ireland Executive Sinn Féin Finance Minister Martin O'Mullor made reference to this comment in the light of the plans that the Northern Ireland Executive had to reduce corporation tax rates in the North to 12.5% by 2018. And he said, and I quote, "I think he has put a horse and cart through our policy. Unless we go for a different policy and we reduce it even further, and that will need to be considered." Well, Count Corla, in this House we speak often of the race to the bottom, and Sinn Féin deputies often raise their voices against it. But here we have a Sinn Féin finance minister positively embracing the race to the bottom, slavishly copying British Tory party policy, and promoting the notion of a bidding war whereby tax for multinational corporations would be slashed at a time when profits are sky high and public services are crying out for investment. So my question, Taoiseach, is was this issue raised at the recent British-Irish Council? If so, what precisely was discussed? And will you give a commitment to the House that you will not enter into a bidding war of this type?
Taoiseach, you have precisely 2 minutes to respond.
And there were quite a number of issues raised at the British-Irish Council. I can't recall this being raised, so I'll just check the minutes of the meetings for Deputy Barry. But let me confirm to you that it's been very clear for a very long time, enshrined in the European treaties, that tax matters are a matter for individual competence of each country. We set our corporate tax rate at 12.5% many years ago. We're not changing that. It's not going up and it's not going down. We did, however, in recognition of the right of any country to move its tax rate, support a situation whereby the much higher British tax rate might be lowered in Northern Ireland to make the island of Ireland a more attractive economic entity in its overall context for foreign direct investment. The former British Prime Minister devolved that authority to the Northern Ireland Executive if they so wished to implement it, and that's what they decided to do. On the run into the election, the former Chancellor Osborne made his comment in respect of boosting the economy that they might reduce the rate of corporate tax rate in Britain to a lower amount than was originally there. So far as we're concerned, Deputy Barry, we are not entering any bidding war here. Our rate is 12.5 and it will remain at 12.5.
Thanks. Deputy Ryan.
Taoiseach, specifically whether he would consider the further strands along the line statement they could vary.
Taoiseach will answer very quickly.
Well, I already made the point, everyone, that this was not a result that we wanted, but it's a result that we have to accept because it's a democratic decision of the voting electorates of the United Kingdom, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England. Be clear on this. We will have differences of opinion with the British government in respect of matters that probably will arise in Brexit, but we are committed to the common travel area, to a non-return for a hard border, and we want to maintain the trading links that we have with Britain. 200,000 jobs from here are dependent on British exports, and similarly from Britain. But we remain as a member of the European Union, and I discussed this with Deputy Ryan last evening. Clearly, we have much negotiation to do to protect our vital national interests, and that we intend to meet that challenge head-on.
Thank you, Taoiseach. We move now to questions.